Hello my dear students. So in today's session we are going to discuss on a very important bit, that is generation of a high DC voltages. As we already discussed in a previous class that there are different forms of voltages, like which are those? One, it is the DC voltage, and one more is AC voltage, and another one is the impulse voltage. Is it right? So these are the voltages. What are the techniques we are going to adopt to generate the voltages? Okay, so the first one will study generation of a high DC voltages. Okay, these DC voltage generation we can so as we know that we can generate the DC voltages using the DC generators, but if you want to generate the voltage in terms of kilovolt or a megavolt, means it is very difficult to achieve by the DC generators. Why it is very difficult? Because of the reason that if the voltage generation is more, means obviously it requires the insulation requirement also be very high. So that is why what we have done, will use some alternate methods to generate the DC voltages. Okay, what are those alternate methods? We'll see one by one. Okay, so this is one of the method what we use for the generation of a high DC voltages. What is that one? Using rectifier circuits like a half wave as well as the full wave rectifier circuits. Okay, we'll see now. So basically here in the last class we have discussed about the different forms of a high voltages, right? So which are those different forms of a high voltages? The first one is DC voltage generation process, also we need to discuss, and second one is high AC voltage, which is of a power frequency, and one more at the higher frequency. The power frequency in the sense that if it is from the Indian standard frequency, so that is 50 to 60 hertz, that is going to be considered as a power frequency. Okay, the high AC voltage generation of a power frequency, that has also been done using some techniques that we'll also discuss in the further classes. Okay, and the third one is high AC voltages, which is of a higher frequency in the range from 30 to 300 megahertz. Okay, so in that also high AC voltage of a high frequency, how it is going to be generated, that will also we'll discuss in further classes. Okay, and the fourth one is high transient or the impulse voltage, which is going to be considered for a shorter duration, and one more for the longer duration. Okay, so these are the different forms of a high voltages. So how these voltages are going to be generated using different techniques. Okay, so first let me start with the high DC voltage generation techniques. Okay, first thing here we need to know before studying about the what are the techniques or the what are the methods usually adopted to generate the high DC voltage. So before that we need to understand what is the importance of generating the high DC voltage. Okay, where it is required very much, means so this is used high DC voltage, this is very much required in a scientific research work as well as in case of a testing of a power apparatuses. So testing of power apparatus in the sense that either it is a insulation testing of the apparatus, getting my point? So insulation testing of the power apparatuses, like what? Power transformers, cables, or a surge arresters. So these are the equipments. Insulation testing of the power apparatus, for that purpose we need the high DC voltages. Okay, and in third case, in electromedical fields, keep it in mind, electromedical fields in the sense that like instruments like electronic microscopes or in X-ray units, we need of a high DC voltage, that is of the order 100 kilovolts. Okay, so next it is also used in the applied physics areas. Applied physics areas is like electron accelerators in a nuclear physics. So in such kinds of applications we need of a high DC voltage. When it comes to the industrial applications, means generally this high voltage, high DC voltage, it is required in thermal power stations, and in case of a cement industries, for electrostatic painting. So these are the different applications, like industrial applications. These are the industrial applications where we can use this high DC voltage. Okay, now we'll study about the what are the methods which usually used for generating the high DC voltage. Okay, so the first technique what we are going to use, that is using the rectifier circuits. Rectifier circuits means, all of you familiar with the what is rectifier, is it right? Rectifier, what it is going to do? Rectifier, it is a device that converts what? Alternating current to the direct current, is it right? It converts the AC to DC. So that what, because of that reason only we are making use of the rectifier circuits. We are generating which voltage? High DC voltage. So using rectifier circuits like a half wave rectifier, and one more is the full wave rectifier. This is the one of the technique which used for the generation of a high DC voltage. And the second one is voltage doubler circuit, and the third one is voltage multiplier circuit, and the fourth is Van de Graaff generator. So this generator, it usually works on the principle of electrostatics. Okay, so these are the four techniques which usually adopt for the generating of a high DC voltages. Okay, shall we start with the first method? What is that one? By using rectifier circuits. Okay, see here, first we need to understand what is rectifier. As I already told that, what is rectifier? How we can define that one? Rectifier, it is a device that converts the alternating current into the direct current. How this conversion process it is going to be done? So that is usually done by using the diodes itself. What is the function of a diode? Diode, it allows the current to flow in only one direction. That is only our basic requirement, right? So which voltage we are generating? DC voltage. DC in the sense that direct current voltage, because the flow of the electrical charges will be there in a one direction it is. So diode means, what is the function of a diode? It also allows the current to flow in a one direction. That is why using the diodes, it will rectifier will converts the alternating current into the direct current. Okay, so getting my point? So these rectifier circuits which are used for producing the high DC voltages. From which source? AC source. Which are those sources? One is the half wave, second one is full wave, and the third is voltage doubler type rectifiers. Getting my point? So these are the three rectifier circuits which used for generating the high DC voltages. Okay. Now first we'll start with the what is half wave rectifier circuit. Okay. See here, half wave rectifier circuit, it is going to be defined as it is also a type of a rectifier. Half in the sense that it name only it is telling that it allows only one half cycle of an AC voltage to pass through it, and it will blocks the other half cycle. Getting my point? Either it allows only positive half cycle or it may be negative half cycle. Getting my point? So it allows only one half cycle of an AC voltage waveform to pass through it and blocking the other half cycle. That is why it is going to be called it as what? Half wave rectifier circuit. Getting my point? So these half wave rectifier circuits which are used to convert the AC voltage to DC voltage. So that requires the circuit, usually it requires the how many diodes to construct? Only one diode. Keep it in mind. Half wave rectifier means it requires single diode for its construction. Okay. Now this is the circuit diagram for the half wave rectifier circuit. Okay, basically what are the components it is consist of? What are the main parts? Let's see. Okay, a complete half wave rectifier circuit, it consists of three main parts. Keep it in mind. The first one is a high voltage transformer and the resistive load, and this is the diode, nothing but rectifier. Okay, so now, so what input, which type we are providing here? That is AC. This AC should be converted into what? So this AC should be converted into DC. How the conversion process it is going to be done? With the help of the diode. Getting my point? So well, now we'll go through the process how half wave rectifier which converts an AC voltage which converts an AC voltage into DC output. Okay. So now here we can observe it. High AC voltage is applied to the, so we can enlarge the diagram now here. So high AC voltage is applied to the primary side of a step down transformer. Getting my point? So which transformer we are using here? Step down transformer. High input AC voltage we are providing at the primary side of a transformer, and after this what will happen? It step down to the voltage. Nothing but low level voltage will get at the secondary side of the winding. So secondary side of this transformer. Okay. So this low voltage which is then applied to the rectifier. Getting my point? So which is then applied to the diode. So now let us consider the two cases. Okay. During positive half cycle of a AC voltage, when we apply the voltage during positive half cycle, what will happen? The diode will be forward biased. Forward biased in the sense that conducting mode it is. The conducting mode, it is nothing but it allows the current to flow through the diode. Getting my point? So during positive half cycle, the diode will be forward biased. So then what will happen? Current will flow through the diode itself. So in that case, this capacitor is charged to a maximum voltage that is represented by V max. Getting my point? Okay. Next, second case what we will consider, during negative half cycle of a AC, diode it is going to be gets reverse biased. Reverse biased in the sense that it does not conduct, nothing but the flow of the current will be blocked. Getting my point? So that is why the final output voltage waveform on the secondary side of a DC, what we will get, so it will be like this. This is the input sine wave, nothing but the input AC voltage what we are providing to this circuit. So during positive half cycle only diode conducts, nothing but only positive cycle is present because there is no negative half cycle. Why it is so? The diode will not conduct during the negative half cycle. So only the positive cycles we have represented in this output waveform. Is it right? So during negative half cycle what will happen? This capacitor is discharged. So during positive half cycle the capacitor is charged to a maximum voltage of a V max, but during negative half cycle this capacitor what will happen? It gets discharged to the load resistance RL. Getting my point? So this is the output waveform of the half wave rectifier circuit. Getting my point? So now see here, so whatever the capacitor we have chosen here, the value of this capacitor is chosen such that the time constant it is nothing but the product of this C into RL. Getting my point? So the time constant it is nothing but the product of capacitance into the resistive load it is there. So this time constant is at least 10 times that of the input, at least 10 times that of the period of a AC supply. In such a way we have to choose the capacitor value. It should be how much? 10 times that of the period of a AC supply. Keep it in mind. So getting my point? And the thing is that suppose when we use a half wave rectifier, a significant amount of power it is going to be gets wasted. Why it is so? Because it allows only one half cycle of each cycle when we pass through it. Is it right? Because other cycle it is going to be gets blocked here. Then nothing but what it is? Significant amount of the power it is going to be gets wasted, right? So that is why moreover this half wave rectifier is not efficient because only the efficiency is of a 40.6%. That is why, and we can't use it for the applications which we need smooth and steady DC output. So that is why instead of this full wave half wave rectifier we prefer for a more efficient and a steady DC we'll use the full wave rectifier circuit. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, next we'll move on to full wave rectifier circuit. So now this is the circuit diagram for a full wave rectifier circuit. So what is the meaning of this full wave? Obviously what half wave means, it allows only positive half cycle will be present and the negative half cycle will be completely blocked over there. But full wave in the sense that it converts both a half of each cycle of a AC signal into the pulsating TC signal. Getting my point? What is full wave rectifier circuit? Full wave rectifier circuit is which converts both a half of a input AC supply signal into the pulsating DC signal. Both half of the each cycle of a AC, it is converted into what? DC signal. Keep it in mind. Okay. So coming to the construction point of view, how many what are the main parts it consists of means? The first one is center tapped transformer and the two diodes. We can say it as a as well as a B, and the important is resistive load here. So getting my point? So these are the three main parts of a full wave rectifier circuit. Which are those? Center tapped transformer, two diodes and the resistive load RL. Okay. So here we are making use of a center tapped transformer. What is the meaning of this center tapped transformer? So it is also like a normal transformer, but with one slight modification is there here. So it has an additional wire which is connected to the exact center of this secondary winding. Keep it in mind. That is why it is going to be considered as a center tapped. It has an additional wire which is connected to the exact center of a secondary winding. So this type of a construction, actually it divides this AC voltage into two equal and opposite voltages like a VA and VB. Getting my point? Here the positive voltage VA will be there. Here the negative voltage VB will be there. Then the total output voltage will be sum of this VA and VB. Getting my point? So what is the advantage of this center tapped transformer? So center tapped transformer, it will divide this AC voltage into two equal and opposite voltages. Getting my point? So the total voltage will be the sum of V equal to VA plus VB. Getting? So now how it is going to work? Right. Okay, coming to the working principle, see here, when we apply AC voltage into the input transformer, when we apply AC input to this input transformer, what will happen? Let us consider here also two cases during positive cycle of a AC voltage supply and during negative cycle of a AC voltage supply. Okay. So first thing is that during positive half cycle of a AC voltage, there are three terminals are there here. So this is the terminal 1 and this is the terminal nothing but the center tapped. It is going to be considered as a zero potential, and this is the terminal 2. Terminal 1 will be at a positive potential, the center tap will be at a zero potential, and this terminal 2 at the negative potential. Getting my point? So this will lead to, this is positive means terminal 1 it is positive means this will leads to the forward biasing of this diode A. Getting my point? And it is nothing but what? It causes the current to flow through it. So in that case this diode B will be reverse biased and blocks the current through it. Keep it in mind, during positive half cycle of a AC voltage, diode A conducts and diode B will not be conducts, nothing but it will be reverse biased. Getting my point? So next what will happen? Second case, during negative half cycle of a AC voltage. Negative half cycle in the sense that this terminal 1 will be at a negative potential, this will be center tapped will be at a zero potential, and this terminal 2 will be at a positive potential. If it is at a positive potential means which diode will be forward biased, and this diode B will be forward biased, and it will allows the current to flow through it, and in that case only the diode A will be reverse biased. It will blocks the current. Is it right? So getting my point? So overall we can say that during the positive half cycle, diode A conducts and B will be reverse biased, and during negative half cycle, diode B conducts and diode A will be reverse biased. Is it right? So combinedly, as a result, both the half cycles are going to be allowed to pass through, right? So both the positive as well as the negative half cycle will get at the output side of a DC. So that is why we can observe it in this waveform. So here, so this is the output with full wave rectifier circuits. Both the positive as well as the negative cycles are going to be passed through it. So then nothing but the average output DC voltage is almost twice that of the DC output voltage of a half wave rectifier circuit. Getting? So that is why, okay. Next thing is here, this will be full wave rectifier circuit, means almost double. It is the twice of a DC output voltage of a half wave rectifier circuit. And very important thing is that both the half wave as well as the full wave rectifier circuit which produces the DC voltage, but whatever the voltage it is going to be produces, that will be of a pulsating nature. Nothing but what? It will be consist of the lot of a ripple content. Ripple content means what? Voltage fluctuations. Keep it in mind. What is ripple? Ripple, it is nothing but the voltage fluctuations, or else we can define it as a residual periodic variations of a DC voltage. So this ripple content is practically not feasible. So that is why, so half wave as well as the full wave rectifier circuits are used along with the smoothening capacitor C. Getting my point? So what purpose we have to use capacitor here? In order to get the smooth DC output voltage, nothing but ripple content free voltage will get it from the capacitor. Getting my point? So that is why a capacitor usually connected across the load resistance here. Suppose when a loaded fluctuations, suppose when it is, if it is loaded means the voltage fluctuations will be there in the output DC voltage. That fluctuation in the voltage, that is going to be appears. So you can see in the diagram here, the voltage fluctuations or the variations in the voltage, suppose if it is loaded. So that voltage will be represented by delta V. So this is going to be call it as the ripple content. So this output voltage, it is not smooth in nature because it consists of the ripple content voltage that is represented by the delta V. So this ripple content, it is smoothened with the help of the capacitors which is connected across the load here. And this delta V, nothing but ripple voltage, will be depends upon the three factors. Which are those? One is the supply voltage frequency and the second one is time constant. Time constant is the product of C into RL. And the third is reactance of this supply transformer, that is XL, inductive reactance of this transformer. Getting my point? So this delta V or the ripple voltage will be depends upon the three factors. Which are those? One is the supply voltage frequency, that is F, and the second one is the time constant, C into RL, and the third is the reactance of this supply transformer, XL. Getting? So this is all about what? Half wave as well as the full wave rectifier circuit. So that is why this ripple content, so this ripple voltage is to be kept as low as possible. How it can be kept as low as possible? By choosing proper capacitor filters. Is it right? So this is all about the half wave as well as the full wave rectifier circuits. Using this rectifier circuits, which voltage we are going to generate? So that is high DC voltage. Keep it in mind. Okay. Next class we'll discuss on the second method, what is that one? This rectifier circuits, it is over. Is it right? The second technique is using voltage doubler circuit. How we'll generate the high DC voltage? We'll study in the next class. Okay. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. Thank you.